The Beauty Spot, Part 1. I have so many stories to tell about this place. Some are stunningly beautiful, some are deeply personal, and some are quite disturbing. But before we get into all of that, let's take a look at the beauty spot. What makes this place so unique? And why the name Beauty Spot? Is that even a real name? The Beauty Spot is a segment of the Unaka Mountain Range in the Blue Ridge Mountains that is part of the larger southern portion of the Appalachian Mountains that sits on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. So I'm going to break this down just a bit for those of you who have never heard of this remarkable place. The Appalachian Mountain Range runs from the island of Newfoundland, Canada, to central Alabama in the United States. These mountains are some of the oldest in the continent, and believe it or not, they're older than the Rocky Mountains in the United States. The names of these mountains were not officially recognized as Appalachian until the late 19th century, since before that they were interchangeably recognized also as the Allegheny Mountains. Now the name Appalachia or Appalachie was a rough translation of a Native American tribe encountered by the Spanish expedition in 1528. Ironically, the natives were in Florida, nowhere near here, but the name became part of the entire region and it spread north. Here, in the southern portion of the mountain range where I live, we call them the Appalachian Mountains. Those who live in Pennsylvania and stretching to the north refer to them as Appalachian. Now, as a lifelong resident of this beautiful land, it hurts my ears and my heart to refer to them pronounced that way. So from here on, I will be referring to them as I've always heard from birth, Appalachian. So now we're going to zoom in a little more. We're going to look at this particular area of the Blue Ridge portion of the Appalachian Mountains, and then even a little more where we can see the Unaka Mountain Range of the Blue Ridge where we are now. I am standing on a geographically unique place on top of the beauty spot, specifically on the Tennessee side of the mountain. And if I turn 180 degrees and walk just a few steps, I am on the North Carolina side of the mountain. And then to be a little more specific, I'm standing in the middle of the Appalachian Trail. And more on that in just a moment. Now, the Blue Ridge was aptly named for the bluish color of these mountains due to millions of tall oaks and pines releasing a gas called isoprene. And when that gas interacts with sunlight and the ozone, the mountains appear many beautiful shades of blue, from light gray blue to the more mysterious shades of slate. The people of the Cherokee Nation named the land Place of Blue Smoke. I have mentioned the Cherokee quite a bit so far, and I aim to talk about them at length since most of the landmarks in this area have retained their native names. So, when I first started visiting this area more than 30 years ago, it was quite sparse, meaning we hardly ever encountered other people here. There was a raw beauty about the place, a wildness that could be felt, and it felt like a hidden gem, a secret place that we could call our very own. But in current times, there are so many people who started coming here during the pandemic years of the early 2020s that it is sometimes too difficult to find a parking space at the most visited lookout areas. I have personally seen dozens of people at the first lookout coming from the Rock Creek roadside. Many visit here to watch the sunset sitting on blankets. Some are lying down in the tall grass, taking in the peaceful feelings. Some are social media influencers capturing a few seconds of themselves standing in certain spots. And then there's also many wedding photographers trying to capture that perfect picture in this panoramic outdoor setting. I am emotionally torn about what I see nowadays. On the one hand, the beauty of this place should be shared with everyone, but also I miss the days when no other people were here and it felt like my own little piece of heaven. I used to think of this place as a vast confessional where I stood in the presence of an omnipotent God, feeling small in the vastness of this beautiful creation. Stay tuned for part 2, where we discuss the rest of this story. Thanks for listening.